Good afternoon. My name is Todd Doyle. I'm interviewing for the position of speech-language pathologist. So roles that I typically take on in a team, I've played and comfortable with most roles as part of school teams, but typically find myself involved as a team leader or with data review and analysis. And so some prior school experiences, my school experiences have been primarily at the elementary and high school levels. Both present unique challenges in terms of scheduling, collaboration, and therapeutic intervention. The populations I typically serve are students with autism, specific learning disabilities, and intellectual disabilities. I do also work with students who use AACs and those with multiple disabilities. So my strengths as an SLP are assessment and IP writing and my caseload management. I also am a very adept planner and effective communicator with peers, parents, and students. So areas of growth, my greatest area of growth is providing therapies in a virtual learning environment. So school systems in Hampton Roads, including where I work in Norfolk, have been in an all virtual learning environment for the past year and only now moving to a hybrid model. So interacting virtually can be more of a challenge, especially when one has to keep materials exciting. However, I'm becoming much better over time and really hope to improve a great deal more in the future. So what I consider when choosing the type of service delivery model to implement. So working at the different grade levels has taught me that delivery models can often be determined by the type and degree of deficit as well as students' age and comfort level. So for example, whereas push a model for a language deficit might, using a language and reading activity might be appropriate and welcome at the elementary level, a pull-out one-on-one model might be more appropriate and better received at the high school level just due to the age and maturity of the individual and likely may not want everyone in the class to see them involved in their speech activity. So how I like people to communicate with me. So I like people to feel free to approach me with any questions or concerns, and I prefer to communicate face-to-face. I appreciate the opportunity to get to know people one-on-one and be able to build a strong sense of trust. So how I make decisions. I'm able to make decisions quickly when required, but really prefer to have a lot of information about a topic or issue in order to make a deeper, well thought out decision. So how can people help me? People can help me by providing information and making requests early. Early communication allows me to be proactive instead of reactive. I'm always happy to do what I can for others. I just like having a bit of notice so I can get things done right the first time. So what will I not tolerate in others? I feel very strongly about this. Something I will not tolerate in others is mean-spiritedness or being unkind to others. We should all learn to treat each other as we would like to be treated. It's a really simple answer, and it's an axiom that really just cannot be denied. So what is one important role as a school-based SLP? I think probably the most important role for the school-based SLP is to be an advocate for communication. So whether it's through professional education or through conversation with peers and parents, students' needs can be met as long as they have someone to really champion their plight and their position. So AACs, my experience with AACs. So previously I've worked extensively managing AAC communication goals in the classroom as a special education teacher. And now as an SLP, I work to teach students how to increase communication and expand ideas using their AACs, not only to master goals, but to allow others to better understand their needs. So whether using low-tech communication boards or high-tech devices loaded with Proloquo to Go, for example, an SLP must know the student's communication ability, but more importantly, their communication needs. It's easy to write a communication goal for use with an AAC. However, one is attempting to teach a skill or a skill set that does not meet the student's communication needs. They're likely to be unsuccessful. The bottom line is that not only must an SLP understand the equipment, but also must be able to understand the person that's using the equipment. So a positive experience I've had while working with students previously with AACs happened as part of an internship a few years ago. Students of differing abilities were working in a social communication group to introduce themselves and answer questions posed by the leader. It seems a simple thing, but the young student I was working with had recently received a replacement AAC for his older model and the one that didn't any longer work. So when it was his turn to introduce himself and answer the question, he beamed with a smile that really warmed my heart because it was something that he had again that he had lost. He had his voice. And he was happy to use it. Okay, thank you very much for your consideration. I look forward to hearing from you.